the Minotaur, retold by Russell Punter. Once upon a time, there lived a king named Aegus. Aegus ruled a land named Athens. Athens did not want any trouble, but then King Minos, his son, had died in Athens, and so, as revenge on King Minos' son's death, King Aegus would have to send 7 men and 7 women to King Minos. King Minos would send them all into this maze called the Labirynth. And in the Labirynth, all those people would get eaten by a man-eating monster called the Minotaur. But this time, Aegus had a son named Theseus. Theseus decided that he would be one of the 7 men and slay the Minotaur. Are you insane? King Aegus cried. The monster will eat you alive. But then Theseus had made up his mind. The ships got ready to sail to King Minos' island. But King Aegus was still not a bit sure, and so he told his men, if my son lives and destroys the Minotaur, then fly white sails when you come back home. This was agreed. King Minos sent all the people, including Theseus, to a jail. Then Ariadne, his daughter, brought them all their last meal. She fell in love with Theseus at sight. She couldn't believe how handsome he was. Theseus told Ariadne about how he had come to kill the Minotaur. I can't let the Minotaur kill you, sighed Ariadne. Then help me kill the Minotaur and escape, Theseus said. He needs someone to help him, and Ariadne was in perfect position. Ariadne said, very well, if you promise to marry me. All right, Theseus croaked nervously. He hadn't been thinking of getting married for a long time, if ever. But if he had to get out of this maze alive, he would do it. And so, Ariadne gave him a ball of string and a sword, which he could both hide underneath his shirt. Use the sword to kill the Minotaur and tie the ball of string to the door of the labyrinth, Ariadne instructed him. And so that's what Theseus did. To his surprise, the ball simply jumped and started rolling, making a twine through the labyrinth. They reached the very heart of the labyrinth and everything was quiet. Now what? Asked one of the women. Row. As if on cue, an inhuman roar filled the labyrinth. Now we face the Minotaur, said Theseus, taking out his sword. The others gasped in fear. Don't worry, Theseus said bravely. I'll tackle the brute. Just stay well behind. And so, just as the Minotaur came, he quickly fought with it and stabbed it and killed it. They used the ball of string to get out of the maze and grabbed a ship back home to Athens. Then Ariadne tagged along too because she said, remember your promise to marry me, Theseus? She said, and Theseus agreed. They stopped at an island named Naxos. We spent the night here, said Theseus, but he couldn't sleep. He did not want to marry King Minos' daughter. Ariadne bossed him around ever since they left from Crete. And so, while she was asleep, he quickly gathered his men and left. At the morning, Ariadne was very angry. Make that cheat Theseus pay for deserting me, she begged towards the gods. There was a magical glow appearing, and a god named Dionysius appeared. He was the god of wine and grapes. Ariadne explained her story to him, and Dionysius felt sorry for her. I will avenge you and get your revenge done, he said. And so Dionysius cast a spell across the mighty sea. Forget sailors, he boomed. Forget, forget, forget. As the ship passed towards Athens, the flags were still black. King Aegus wanted their wife to know if Theseus was alive. Theseus was alive, but all thanks to Dionysius' spell, none of the sailors could remember that they had to do this. Just as the ship arrived at Athens, King Aegus gasped in relief. The ship has returned. My son is back. But then he saw something which broke his heart. Oh no, he sobbed. Black sails. My son Theseus must be dead. In sadness, he jumped inside the sea and sank to his doom. When Theseus came, he broke down and wept hearing the news. Theseus had accomplished his mission. He had killed the mighty Minotaur and escaped the perilous Labirynth. But his poor father would never know. I hope you enjoyed this story. Thank you.